Okay, thank you very much. So thanks JP for bringing together IEEE SA, Nessum, and also our industry connections activity in India to brief about what we have done under this industry connections activity. I'll try to summarize. And I head the Education and Research Network, Chennai regional office, mostly focusing on the research and development, as I was mentioned in the introduction. So let me try to cover the PLC Testbed working group, which was set up just with an objective to see how PLC potential can be demonstrated with the real life use cases in India. So because if we see the kind of applications PLC was utilized for in Europe and other countries, so the potential of PLC was really not realized. That was the premise with which this working group was initiated. So we have reached out to industries, utilities, and government agencies, R&D departments to figure out whether we can establish PLC test beds and demonstrate with real use cases so that the potential of PLC can be demonstrated in India. So that was the context with which this working group was initiated. And over the period of roughly about 3 years period, so we have established 3 PLC test beds in India, and also those were the learnings from those PLC test bed along with various use cases have been reported in a white paper that was published earlier this year. It was an industry connections activities report under the PLC testbed in India. This is already available in the IEEE Explore for people to have a look at. And this brings out especially the pilot deployment of 3 PLC testbeds. And also it brings out various gap analysis and PLC opportunities for India. So this is available. Let me try to summarize what we have done by going into my rest of the presentation. So the 3 PLC testbed that was executed were one on the smart building PLC testbed. For example, the indoor air quality, temperature, and occupancy detections were using sensors connected over a PLC network was measured and connected to a gateway. It is an end-to-end use case where the data gets collected to the cloud and the user gets to see all the data. So the smart building use case was piloted at IIT Madras Research Park, which was supported by SLS Electronics and also ST Microelectronics. So the SLS Technologies and ST Microelectronics were the industry partners, while the IIT Madras was an academic partner with ERNET India supporting at IIT Madras Research Park in real field deployment. So this was one of the test bed where a smart building use case was demonstrated. And the other test bed was by the industry partner, ST Microelectronics, in their campus network. They have demonstrated the PLC use case for LED-based smart street lighting, where the street light control and all the on-off control plus the dimming, all the brightness control were also demonstrated, and especially the fault detection, including fault detection and so forth. So the idea is using the IPv6 based connectivity protocol, the real control of the street light using power line communication. So this is a kind of combination of both 6LoWPAN at the application and network layer and the PLC at the physical layer was demonstrated in the campus network. And the third PLC testbed was on the railways use case where a signaling cable fault was detected, or the framework was developed for detecting the signal cable fault using power line communication, broadband PLC. And this was done by a IISc research scholar, and this was it's by an academic institute. It's really all 3 test beds have been by different kind of combination in terms of the background. So here it is more of academic test bed, but with a lot of research component to it, where the signal faults can be identified. The underground cables can be monitored non-invasively. The idea is that without bringing down the signaling fault detection, due to signal fault detection, we don't have to bring down the actual signal network to without having any downtime, the fault can be detected using the power line communication. This is the very good use case. So these three test bed was reported and summarized in the white paper. And in terms of the case studies also, we have tried to look at what has been achieved using power line communication in the past within India. That was also summarized in the white paper. One of the CPRI case study, which the subsequent speaker will cover, the narrowband PLC for smart grid use cases and the broadband PLC for the internet access. So this was demonstrated at the Central Power Research Institute campus. This is also covered, and the subsequent speaker will bring out the details of the study. And the other case study is the Tripura State Utility, where about 43,000 smart meters have been connected over a power line communication. This is one of the largest deployment of PLC in India with very good demonstration. So Dr. Kele, who happened to be the CEO of the Tripura State Utility, was kind enough to share a lot of the insight from this very good use case to us, and this is captured in our report. And the other use case is on the broadband PLC in campus network at Amrita College. This was about the RF wave transmission over a power line communication for video transmission. This was demonstrated in the Amrita Engineering College campus by Professor Naveen Kumar. And another one is by Adani Electricity, by Itran Technologies. They have demonstrated for consumer indexing use case. These case studies have also been captured in our white paper. And in terms of the opportunities and recommendations, our working group with a lot of the support from industry and utilities came out with various recommendations as part of the case study as well as at the summary of the report. Where the importance of PLC definitely needs to be taken forward and briefed to the utilities, and also more pilots have to be executed within India with the support from government and industry, including academic research. So that is one of the need that was felt by the working group. And also there are a lot of real challenges when we go for RF based smart metering. So that was also we found that PLC is a very good complementary technology where the 4G or 5G migration related issue can be alleviated using PLC. And also the last mile connectivity for broadband or any new installations where the complete electrical cabling is new. So those apartment complexes and so forth, where the PLC can be a very good candidate. And also the initial cost may be higher as compared to other technologies, probably over the long run, because the running cost is really very less for the PLC. So this is also being highlighted in our report. And as a recommendation, there is also a brief about how hybrid PLC of RF and RF mesh with the PLC can also be a very good use case for in the smart grid context. So with this, I will hand it over to JP. Thanks for the opportunity again and putting together this webinar. Thank you, JP.